You set? You ready?
Okay.
I'll call us to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if anybody who's going to present testimony, if you'd stay standing, I'll go ahead and swear you in. Is he giving testimony or?
Are you guys going to testify or no?
Well, attorney is okay. Attorney, unless you're testifying, you don't have to. You're good. But
I'm sorry, I didn't know you
the respondents that are back there, you're not. Yeah, you're here in reduction. Both of them reduction? Okay. Oh, you're here in a reduction as well? Then go ahead and sit. I don't need to swear you in right now, so just swear the officers in.
I don't know if the other gentleman, he doesn't speak anymore.
That's who I was asking. They said he was here in a reduction as well. Do you swear from the testimony you give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. For those who haven't been here before, my name is Drew Smith. I'm the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of St. Cloud. My role in these proceedings is to be an independent fact finder. I am not employed by and retained by, but not employed by the City of St. Cloud. So my role is to be an independent, to hear the facts, and when I've heard all the facts, then I will enter a verbal ruling today. That will be followed in the mail by a written order that will give you any necessary steps you have to take to correct a violation, should I find one, and we will go from there. The order of proceedings for each case will be the city will present its evidence and testimony. When they're done with that, any respondent will have an opportunity to ask questions that they may have of the code enforcement officer. If you have no questions, or when you're done asking those questions, you can then present any evidence or present any testimony you would like me to receive. When I've heard all the evidence and testimony, I will enter that verbal ruling. And with that, clerk, you may call our first case.
Case number 2022-83, Hickory Tree Industrial LLC owner, location of violation, vacant commercial property, Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida.
Sorry. Good afternoon, Melissa Howes, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of St. Cloud. I am presenting this case for the property located on Hickory Tree Road. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: a copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail, a copy of the second notice of violation sent by certified mail, a copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail, a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, evidence of mailings, the code sections in violation of, a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $326.38. And the respondent is not here.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'd like to start off this case by providing a little bit of history. Back in July of 2021, Code Enforcement received a complaint about the conditions of this property. When I went to the property, there were some vehicles and equipment that the owner of the property owned, and he also had a vacant, this was a vacant parcel, but he owned the adjacent property as well. And that property is located in county jurisdiction. So he owns two properties, one's in the city, one's in the county. There were also some vehicles from a company that was going to be opening a business at this location. There were some piles of dirt and gravel on the property as well. I cited the owner for the abandoned vehicles. Mr. Wright reached out to me and said that he would correct the violations. And he wanted to know who he needed to see about getting a tenant license to run a business going onto this vacant parcel. So I directed him to see the planning department for information that he needed. That was his prior case. He had actually corrected the abandoned vehicles and so forth. On August 23rd, 2021, the owner submitted an application to the planning department to rezone the property and submitted a comprehensive plan amendment. On December 15th, Code Enforcement received another complaint on this property of adding more piles of dirt and gravel and already working on the property. I went to this location and 10 photos were taken showing what the property looked like. So they had put in a office trailer, and there's a storage unit next to it. They had put in a makeshift septic tank with sewer lines, And there were also some plumbing lines. There was no electric run to it. They were running off of a generator. And that was kind of like the vehicles just being parked there. And that was the entrance into the property. On January the 3rd, I was in the area and I took 4 more photos.
Can you go back one? Mm-hmm. So the piles of sand or dirt, is that on this property or is that the adjacent property?
That is on this property. There is a concrete plant to the north, which you can see the big tower, and there is also a concrete plant to the south.
Okay.
So you've got one concrete plant, Mashmeyer's, and you have another concrete plant, and then you have his county property, which I don't know what he does on that one,
Okay.
and then this vacant parcel.
Okay.
On January 11th, Supervisor Sparkman, Officer Alex Miller, and I went to this location and walked the site with the owner of the property, the tenant's wife, the tenant's daughter, and the son-in-law. Several violations were noted and photos taken to include what I just described: the construction trailer with plumbing, sewer lines hooked up to an above-ground septic tank. There were 3 storage containers, and there was also water hooked up from a neighboring property, all with no permits. The business had, no business tax receipt or certificate of use license, and mechanical work was being performed on site for their own equipment, and there were more abandoned vehicles located at the property. 22 photos were taken.
Before you go through these photos, what business were they engaged in?
They have a concrete crushing and recycling company. So that photo was actually showing you there's a line that's connected to the Mashmeyer's concrete plant that they had dug underground for the water. And you can see the water spigot connected to one of the storage containers. That was just another bigger view. You can see the water lines running along the fence line as well.
I assume they at least had permission?
Oh, yeah, they were paying them for the water. Yes. And then there's another storage container. The purple is reclaimed water, so I don't know if that was stubbed in already for the other plant or not, but the water lines on the ground is the one that was the illegal hookup. We had some containers that I don't know what was in them. I was assuming it was oil because that's where they do the mechanical equipment. Another picture of those. Trucks coming in and out, the piles. Another storage container. That's pretty much where they keep all of their equipment, is back in that general area. There's 1, 2, and then there's another storage container over there. And you can see they were running off a generator back there. It was inside the storage unit. There's
No
more.
evidence of any illicit discharges, though?
No, no, sir. And another one of the storage container. Those were the water sub-outs, so I know that they weren't connecting right there. They were connecting from the other one. Okay. That same day, January 11th, I left a message for the planner working on the rezoning, wanted an update on the status. On January 13th, he reached out to me stating that the first reading was that evening at the council meeting, and then the second reading was on January 27th, 2022. Once that was completed, a site plan would need to be submitted and approved, which could take up to 6 weeks. On January 25th, I issued a notice of violations by certified mail to the owner of record, the registered agent for the owner, and the tenants for no permits, abandoned vehicles, no business tax receipt, and illegal water hookup. The owner and registered agent's mailings were signed for on January the 28th, 2022, and the tenants was returned. On February the 2nd, I was advised by upper management to put any further code enforcement actions on hold while Mr. Wright's property was going through the planning and zoning process. On May 26th, city staff set up a meeting to discuss the present status of Mr. Wright's property because we were receiving new complaints. It was discussed that the owner of the property applied for the comprehensive plan amendment and a zoning change Planning determined that the owner misrepresented the work being performed at this location, and the owner would now need to change his application from the original rezoning, which he was trying to do industrial, to change it to now a PUD zoning. I was then asked to go back to the site, document what violations existed at the present time, and to take the fire marshal along with me to make sure there were no fire violations on the property. On June the 1st, Fire Marshal Richard Tonks, Officer Alex Miller, and I performed an inspection at this location. The owner of the business was there. He was not aware of any of the zoning issues. He showed us the office and that they were not using it at all. We verified the water was disconnected from the adjacent property, and there was no electric on site. Water was being trucked in from the concrete plant behind the property. The storage containers were still there for the storage of mechanical equipment, parts for his machines, and a few fire violations were noted by the fire marshal, and it was explained to the tenant how to correct the violations. 33 photos were taken. This is pretty much the same stuff you're going to see. The water was disconnected there. That was an abandoned vehicle. The tag was expired.
I'm sorry, go back.
It was just on the trailer on that one. The semis didn't have, they didn't have tags on them.
Okay, so both the utility trailer and the semi-trailers were both abandoned. Expired
Correct.
tag on the utility and no tags on the semi.
Correct.
What are you showing me there? Last one.
Well, these were the fire marshal's issues.
Okay.
He explained to him what he needed to do for the oil. I guess he had some oil, some used oil, some new oil, and then I don't know if that's a gas tank. He was speaking with him about all of those and what he needed to do, but he said that they were very simple corrections that he could make. That was, I believe, the oil one. And then this was inside the trailers. That truck there didn't have a tag on it. They did have a dumpster on site, but all the vehicles that were up front, up there, that were abandoned were totally gone.
Can you see the utility trailer, the semi-trailer, and that white truck with no tag? Are they visible from the right-of-way or adjacent property?
No. None of it's visible from the right-of-way. I had to go onto the property to see that. The very first violations I cited for the abandoned vehicles, you could see from the road. Those were owned by the owner of the property, not the tenant.
So from code enforcement's perspective, there is not today an abandoned vehicle issue on the property?
I do not believe there is right now. Was just not by the time specified. Right. So after we did our inspections, took our photos, I reported my findings to upper management and was directed to send new notice of violations by certified mail to the owner. On June 23rd, another notice of violation was sent out by certified mail to the owner of record, the registered agent for the owner, and the business owner. The registered agent signed for the certified mailing on June 25th, the owner of the property on June 27th, and the business owner's was never returned or signed for. However, he had requested when I was on site to email it due to him not receiving the first notice, and it was also returned. On June 28th, I just happened to be in the area, so I took 4 more photos just showing from the road. Those are all from the road. Oh, and that was to show you the water truck. That's the water truck that, because what the complaints were is because we weren't having any rain and the wind was picking up quite a bit, so that dirt was flying across the road into the residential properties. On July 11th, I spoke to the new planner assigned to this case in planning and zoning to see if a new application had been submitted. She advised no. She stated that the owner and tenant had been coming in and she had advised them what they needed to resubmit. I asked the planner how long the process would take once the documents were submitted, and she stated approximately 3 months. On July 18th, a reinspection was performed and none of the violations were corrected. The tenant was there, so I explained to him why I was taking the photos again and that this case was being scheduled to the special magistrate in August. He said he would try and get in touch with the owner of the property. However, he heard he was in the hospital, and I took 9 photographs while I was there. And, oh, these are the 18th. Okay, hang on one second here. Okay, so the trailer's still in the same location. I know they're hard to see. We still had all the mechanical equipment. He said he was going to be moving the office trailer, which I told him didn't really matter at this point because if he was keeping it anywhere on site, he was going to have a permit for it. Actually, I've gone too far now. Okay. On July 19th, I sent out a statement of violation and notice of hearings by certified mail to the owner of the property, the registered agent for the owner of the property, and the business owner. The owner signed for it on July 28th and the registered agent on July 22nd, and the business owners has not come back yet. On August 15th, I went by the property for a reinspection and took 7 photos. Okay, this is what I wanted to tell you. He did move the trailer anyway. I don't know why, just to disconnect it from all of the piping, but he had moved it to a different location in the lot. And this right here where that dirt mound is, see the picnic tables? That's the location of where the trailer was. And he had just moved it just so it's mobile, I guess. But he disconnected everything. And that is the area where they do the repairs.
And business activity is continuing?
Yes. I reached out to the planner on the status of the resubmittal documents as of Monday. I heard back from her yesterday, and she advised that the owner did submit the new documents on July 22nd. They are still missing a couple of drawings. She stated that the owner is aware that the drawings are missing, and at this point, this is where I'm at. Somebody from planning was supposed to be here. They're not here.
It's okay.
So it is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing a business to operate at this location prior to obtaining a business tax receipt and certificate of use, and the proper permits required for the type of construction occurring prior to an approved site plan and permits for the construction trailer and the storage containers placed at this location by the time specified. The city would also request that the cost incurred in bringing this case before the magistrate in the amount of $326.38 be paid within 7 days of the written order. I did not, at this point, knowing that the planning department is at least 3 to 5 months out, how we want to do as far as a recommendation. My recommendation was going to be to go ahead and give them until November, 3 months from, I believe it was the 16th because the other day fell on the
17th.
weekend. So that would be 3 months to come into compliance for all the violations, or $100 a day fine until compliance is met.
Okay. And nobody in the audience is here on this case? No respondent present. Find in favor of the city based on the evidence testimony presented. Find that the respondent is in violation of the Code of Ordinances for allowing a business to operate at the location prior to obtaining a business tax receipt or a certificate of use license. Also finding that the respondent lacks the proper permits required to do the type of construction occurring on the site and for the construction trailer and storage containers that they've placed on the site. Will order the respondent to cure those violations by November 17th, 2022. If not brought into compliance by that date, a fine of $100 a day will accrue until compliance is met. We'll also order the respondent to pay the city's administrative costs and prosecution in the amount of $326.38, which amount will be due 7 days from the date of my written order. And if you get close to that November 17th deadline and they're making progress and you need to bring it back and get an extension, I'll hear that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Case number 2022-445 McDonald Family Trust, Donita J. McDonald, COTR, and Jack A. McDonald, CO-TR, owners, location of violation 524 Delaware Avenue, St. Cloud, Florida.
That's not me.
Melissa?
Oh, I'm sorry. Why? Because I'm no pros. So this particular case, I'm going to no pros,
Okay.
okay?
This is, second on the agenda, not the second in my packet. Got it.
I'm sorry.
That's why we were all confused.
Case number 2022-726 Hudson SFR Property Holdings III LLC, owner, location of violation 1700 Reflection Lane, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon. Alex Miller, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of St. Cloud. I'm presenting this case for the property located at 1700 Reflection Lane. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: copy of the courtesy notice, copy of the notice of violation, copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail, copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail posted at the property in City Hall, copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail posted at the property in City Hall, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, affidavit of postings, evidence of mailings, copy of the sections in violation, and a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $220.28. The respondent is here, and I already provided with the copies.
Okay.
On May 6, 2022, Code Enforcement received a complaint from the Homeowners Association of Turtle Creek about this property having high grass and weeds. They stated that they have been trying to reach the owners but were unsuccessful. Upon arrival, I was able to verify the complaint for the grass was valid, and I also verified there was no business tax receipt for a landlord license for this property. A courtesy notice by regular mail was sent to the owner and agent to correct the violation within 7 working days. On May 23, 2022, a reinspection was performed and verified that the grass was mowed, but the business tax receipt for a landlord license was not obtained, and the property was still in violation. A notice of violation by regular mail was sent to the owner and agent to correct the violation. On June 6, 2022, a reinspection was performed and verified that the property was still in violation. A notice of violation by certified mail was sent to the owner and agent to correct the violation. On June 30th, 2022, a reinspection was performed and verified that the property was still in violation. On July 1st, 2022, a notice of violation by regular mail was sent to the owner and agent to correct the violation, posted the property in City Hall, and created an affidavit of posting, and 1 photo was taken. On July 15, a reinspection was performed and verified that the property was still in violation. A statement of violation and notice of hearing was sent by certified mail to the owner and agent, posted the property in City Hall, created an affidavit of posting, and 1 photo was taken. On July 26th, I received a call from Derek with Hudson Properties stating that the violation has been corrected. He requested that the case be removed from the hearing. After verifying our records, I informed Derek that there was no license on record, but if they obtained a license before the hearing, I would change the case to in compliance, but I will still ask for the administration costs to be recovered. On August 12th, and again today, I verified there is no landlord license on record, and the property is still in violation. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of not obtaining a business tax receipt for a landlord license by the time specified, and the city will recommend that the respondent be given until August 31st, 2022, to obtain a license, or a fine in the amount of $100 a day be assessed until compliance is met. The city will also request that the cost incurred in bringing this case before the magistrate in the amount of $220.28 to be paid within 7 days of the written order by the special magistrate. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Counsel? Any questions of the witness before I? No. You can sit down. You can sit.
This will be easy for you, sir. We admit the allegation. The only thing we ask is, I don't know how quickly you issue your orders, but we'd ask that that run, the $220 run with the payment by August 31st of the
I don't see any issue with that, anything from the city? Yeah, no problem with that. I'm sorry, your name for the record, you have it in this notice of appearance.
Sorry, Mark Lippman. We filed a notice of appearance yesterday, and I gave another one to Ms. Clockers earlier today.
Thank you. Okay, that's
That's all we
it.
have.
That's easy.
Thanks,
You're
if I
right.
may be excused.
Yes, sir, please.
Thank
But I will find in favor of the city, find that the respondent was is in violation for needing that business tax receipt and landlord license. Order the respondent to cure by August 31, 2022. If not brought into compliance, fine of $100 per day. Also order respondent to pay the administrative cost, the amount of $220.28, which will be paid within 7 days of the date of by August 31, 2022. And I will make sure you get a copy of that order, too.
Excellent, thank you.
Can you email me his notice of appearance? I don't have his address, thank you.
Case number 2022-744, Ricardo.
Before you call that, does the city have any objection to hearing our two reductions that are present, so they don't have to sit through all of these hearings?
No, no, that's fine, quite all right. If I may. Did you want to go in order on the agenda, sir, or did you want to take?
I was going to go in the order that they're here, but if we want to just go ahead and knock out all the reductions, that's fine with me, too.
The first, if I believe out the agenda, the first matter is actually the case under 50,000, case 2020-2239, Quality Plus. And I believe that case, Mr. Escobar is here. We don't have any agreement in hand. He would like to make a presentation, and so.
And this was the one that was here last month. Okay, Mr.
so,
Escobar?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or I guess 2 months ago, I think we heard this one.
Yes.
As he said, we didn't come up with an agreement. I tried reaching out to the office, and I was answered by the secretary or the assistant, just that they're going to stand to what they felt was right.
Okay. Anything new that I didn't hear last time that you'd like me to hear?
No, I mean, other than, as far as the time, I mean, you see the schedule, the time schedule that I presented to you, that we had adequate time on our part, and it was just kind of lingering.
What's the total fine? Do you have that? Claudia has it. I would like to be able to give everybody some path forward should they choose to take it. I'm stuck the same place I was last time. I can't sit here and say I think the city's position is unreasonable. 29,000 to 4655 is a significant reduction of that. In order to give you something to think about and give this a path forward should you choose to take it, I will approve, and I know it's not what you're asking for, and you don't have to agree to it. But I will approve the reduction to $4,655.80. And if you sleep on that, you decide you want to take the city up on what it's put on the table, then you have that ability. I'm going to give him 60 days to think about that. So if
Let's not even bother. I'll take it.
okay.
I don't want to keep going through this. I'm wasting
I
more
understand,
money
and that's
going
why I
back and
wanted to
forth.
find some path forward. So I will approve that reduction.
Okay.
I will go ahead and give you 60 days to pay it, since I said I was going to give you time to think about it, but, so you need time to come up with that money, whatever, but I'll give you 60 days to pay that. As long as it's paid within those 60 days, that will be your amount. If it's not paid within that time, it will revert back to the original
Will I
amount.
get an invoice, or I could just kind of pay that?
You will get an order from me, but you can come and, Claudia, do they come to you for the repayment of the
Yeah, he
reduction?
needs to
Come
make
to
an
make an
appointment.
appointment and come and see Claudia whether you have that order in hand or not, and she'll walk you through that. But you
Okay.
will get a written order that has
All
that
right,
in there.
thank you.
If I, just so I can, for my notes, it just, I don't understand, because I don't have the paperwork. This is a reduction down to 4655.80,
80.
and it's reduced from a current amount?
Uh,
29,665, or
80.
29,645.80.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir, thank you.
Noted.
And can we
Okay.
go ahead and do Great House Pros, so he's our last one present, so we can get him out of here?
Yes, the next case, well, case 2020-1720, if I'm not mistaken. There is an agreement signed by the city manager for a reduction to 5255.35, as long as it's paid within 30 days.
Okay.
And he is here if he wishes to. That's good?
And so the difference between this one is by $522.35. You missed me being able to approve this, so this will have to go to the city commission. But I will recommend approval of this reduction to the city commission, and you'll get an order to that effect.
It'll appear before the council. So finally,
Question I would have, do I pay, I guess I would pay after it's approved by
yeah, council will have the final, so yes, sir.
It will be at the September 8th meeting.
September 8th. Okay, sounds good.
If you would, when you're emailing me stuff afterwards, if you'll just email me all of those agreements too, so I can reference them in the orders.
Good?
You're good, thank you.
Like Claudia, no more 6 a.m. phone calls. God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. So, you go ahead and knock them out, since you're up already.
Sure. The final reduction request, which has been case 2021-2012, Zebek, St. Cloud Apartments, Michigan Avenue, 1761 is what I show. City manager is agreeable to a reduction, and this one is within your sole purview, down to a reduction of 1,079.50, should it be paid within 30 days.
And I know we don't have a sign from the respondent yet, but I will authorize that reduction. And again, if the respondent chooses to pay, I will take that as their acceptance of what the city has offered.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, back, thank you.
Case number 2022-744, Ricardo Torres Beverly and Gloria Iris Morales Beverly, owners, location violation, 2825 Wagon Wheel Trail, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement. I am presenting this case for the property located at 2825 Wagon Wheel Trail. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: a copy of the email sent to the business owner, a copy of the notice violation sent to the owner and registered agent, copy of the notice violation with the new date sent to the owner and the registered agent, a copy of the notice violation sent by certified mail to the owner, the registered agent, copy of the statement of violation notice of hearing sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, copy of the affidavit of posting, the certified cards signed for, copy of the deed to the property, copy of the code sections in violation, copy of the costs incurred if the special magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $237.14. On May 13th, 2022, Code Enforcement received a list of delinquent business tax receipt and certificate of use licenses. On May 13th, I called and sent an email to the business owner explaining his licenses were delinquent. On May 25th, I checked and the licenses were still delinquent. On May 26th, a notice violation was sent to the owner and the registered agent. On June 29th and July 13th and July 19th, I checked, the licenses were still delinquent. On July 29th, a notice violation with the new date was sent to the owner. On July 13th, I called the owner of the business and explained that the licenses needed to be renewed to prevent further code enforcement proceedings. He stated he would renew both licenses on Monday, the 18th. On July 19th, I checked and the licenses were not renewed, so notice of violation was sent by certified mail to the owner. On August 2nd, I checked and the licenses were still delinquent. So on August 3rd, a statement of violation and notice of hearing was sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property in City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took one photo. On August 10th, I checked both licenses are now active, and the respondent was here earlier. I gave him a packet, and he knows the amount that I'm asking for, and he said he was going to go pay Claudia. Okay? It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing the business tax receipt and certificate of use for the business JM Quality Services, Inc., to expire as of September 30th, 2020, while still operating the business at this location. The city would like to also recover the costs incurred in bringing this case before the special magistrate in the amount of $237.14 to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that concludes my presentation.
So I just want to make sure I understand. So they failed to renew in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were conducting business through 21 and into 22.
Yes, sir.
When they renewed their business tax receipt, did they get business tax receipt for 2021 and 2022?
I'm sure they
Okay.
were charged penalty, yes.
Okay. The city was made whole. That's what I wanted to make sure.
Yes.
That because they operated a full year without having a business tax receipt.
Exactly.
Okay. Then I will find in favor of the city, find the respondent was in violation for operating a business without business tax receipt, find that the respondent has cured that violation, order the respondent to pay the city's administrative costs in the amount of $237.14, which amount will be due within 7 days of the date of my written order.
Thank you.
Case number 2022-794, Efrandavid Garcia Brito and Laura Ann de Moralgo Brito, owner, location violation 3341 Huasian Drive, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement Officer. I am presenting this case for the property located at 3341 Huasian Drive. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: a copy of the courtesy notice sent to the owner, a copy of the notice violation sent to the owner, a copy of the notice violation sent by certified mail to the owner, a copy of the notice violation with the new date sent to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall, a copy of the statement of violation, notice of hearing sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall, a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, a copy of the affidavits of postings, the certified mail receipts, a copy of the deed to the property, a copy of the code sections in violation, a copy of the costs incurred if the special magistrate finds a respondent in violation in the amount of $253.14. On May 24th, 2022, I received a complaint about 2 structures that were installed at this location. On May 24th, I went to verify, and there is a gazebo and a pergola in the rear yard with no permit. I took 2 photos. On May 25th, a courtesy notice was sent to the owner. On June 29th, I checked and there was still no permit. On June 30th, a notice of violation was sent to the owner. On July 14th and July 27th, I checked and there was still no permit. I took 1 photo. On July 28th, a notice violation was sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took 3 photos.
So it's both the gazebo and the pergola. Neither one of them has a permit.
No, sir.
They look like they were installed by a contractor, not just built by the homeowner, right?
The homeowners never even contacted me until today.
Okay.
On August 2nd, I checked and the permit had been applied for on August 1st. So on August 3rd, a statement of violation, notice of hearing was sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property in City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took one photo. On August 15th, I checked, and the permit was not obtained, but the zoning department had disapproved the permit, and the permit was resubmitted and is in review until August 22nd. One photo. And the respondent was here earlier, so they understand. I explained to them that it's in review until the 22nd, so.
You're not aware of any planning issues that would prevent these from being permitted? I know it's not your answer to give. I'm just curious if you foresee any issues with these ultimately receiving a permit.
I don't think so, because
Setback
this is the
issues.
resubmittal, so hopefully they did the resubmittal right. So it is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing 2 structures to be installed prior to obtaining a permit, and to have the permit obtained by August 30th, 2022, or pay a fine of $100 a day until compliance is met. The city would also like to recover the costs incurred in bringing this case before the special magistrate in the amount of $253.14 to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that concludes my presentation.
I will find in favor of the city, find that the respondent is in violation of code for building 2 structures without proper permits, order the respondent to cure that violation by August 30th, 2022. If not cured by that date, a fine in the amount of $100 per day shall run until compliance is met. We'll also order the respondents to pay the administrative costs incurred by the city in the amount of $253.14, which amount will be paid due within 7 days of the date of my written order.
Thank you.
Case number 2022-800, Speedway LLC owner, location of violation, 4500 13th Street, St. Cloud, Florida.
Melissa Howells again with the City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement. So at this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items. Copy of the notice of violation sent by regular mail, a copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail, a copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, evidence of mailings, the code sections in violation of, a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $227.28, and the respondent is not here.
Thank you.
On May 24th, 2022, after receiving a complaint that there were some homeless folks staying in the area behind this property and that they were making a mess, I went to this property and observed in the rear of this commercial location that the grass was not being cut and the landscaping was not being maintained as approved on the original site plan. I took 6 photographs.
It's a gas station convenience store?
Yes, and I hate the way we have to stretch the photos for you to see them, but, so this is like a little retention area that's between the gas station, and then it goes uphill, and once you go uphill, then you have the landscaping, and I'm not necessarily talking about the landscaping in the front that you see, it's the landscaping behind it. And I tried to, get some close-ups, but it's very hard because you got Home Depot on one side and you got Speedway on this side.
Okay, I see the tall grass and weeds. On the landscaping itself, what is it that you want me to see?
Well, if you look in the packet where the notices are, I actually attached a copy of the site plan and the photos that I actually sent to them with the original notice of violation. And that area behind there is supposed to be, I highlighted it, there's like one tree, you can see how many trees there are, but there's bushes in between them. So you can't even see the bushes in between them. The trees, like the canopies need to be lifted and then mowed underneath. You can't see between the two
Can
properties.
you go back? I think I see. Can you go back? I think
So that's from Home Depot side,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Go back one more.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that
again.
too. So that you can
Keep
see.
going
that-
back. I think, now that you describe it, I think I keep-
Okay.
just
Well,
go
that's-
through this set.
That was
that's-
where the homeless folks were. So that's from Speedway side,
Okay, which is being maintained from the front.
yeah, to the retention area.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is from the Home Depot side.
Am I looking at this, so I'm looking at the site plan, and on the site plan you provided, there's a highlighted area.
In the very back.
Is that the back of the
Yes.
property?
I think I wrote on there. it
Uh-huh,
says
this area is not
area-
being maintained.
Yes, that's the area.
Am I looking at the same highlighted area in this photo?
Yes.
I'm just looking at it from the back side.
Yes, sir.
Understood, okay.
And I mean, I do know we have a minimum that they're supposed to keep the bushes kept at a level as well. But it's mainly not even that. It's the area in front of it where all these homeless folks are going in there and staying in between the debris. So I wanted to make sure I gave you that site plan that I attached with their notices.
Have you talked to anybody at the
Nobody,
respondent?
not the store, not the registered
They just don't
agent,
return
nobody,
calls?
nobody. Okay, so on May 25th, I showed you the 6 photos, but on May 25th is when I sent out the notice of violations by regular mail to the owner of record, the registered agent, to correct the violations within 10 working days. I included a copy of the approved site plan and the photos of the violations. On June 13th, a reinspection was performed and the property was not in compliance. On June 15th, notice of violations were sent out by certified mail to the owner of record and registered agent. One was signed for on June 20th and the other on June 21st. On July 7th, another inspection was performed and nothing had been corrected. 4 photos were taken showing noncompliance. That's one. They're getting a little closer. On July 12th, I sent out statement of violation and notice of hearings by certified mail. One was signed for on July 14th and the other on July 15th. On August the 12th, I went by this property and took 8 photos showing non-compliance. They're mowing right up to the area. There's shopping carts and all kinds of stuff, and that I kind of got a better view because I got out of the truck, walked up to the landscaping that you've seen by the sidewalk, and I did a long view of that area. It's the shopping carts. See, and I tried to zoom. There's another shopping cart in there, but you can't even see through the landscaping. I tried to take some better photographs for you. That's from almost to the road, like, past us, you can see the sidewalk. So that gives you a better view of both areas. On
This is
August
just the strip
15th.
between the Speedway and the Home Depot, right?
Yes, sir. On August 15th, I checked one last time before the magistrate and took 3 photographs. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of having high grass and weeds and not maintaining the landscaping as approved on the original site plan by the time specified. The city would like to give the respondent until September the 1st, 2022, to bring the property into compliance or pay a fine in the amount of $100 a day until compliance is met. The city would also request the costs incurred in bringing this case before the magistrate in the amount of $227.28 be paid within 7 days of your written order. And that concludes my presentation.
So I have as the address, the property where the violation exists is 4500 13th Street, St. Cloud, 34769.
Correct.
Would that be the mailing address for the Speedway?
No.
I know not the service address that you used. I understand that. Would that,
Right.
if I wanted to mail something to that store, is that where I'd mail it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find in favor of the city. You've proved your case, but I'm trying to figure out how to get attention to the people at the store. So
Right.
I'm also going to send an order to the store because I suspect what may be going on is it may just be, they've got a contractor who's coming in and mowing that grass, and they need to tell their contractor, we own this. And probably the people running the store don't realize they own it. They think it's Home Depot's problem. Home Depot thinks it's Speedway's problem. It's just not getting taken care of.
And I agree with you, and if they would have reached out to me, I would have told them that.
Well, that's why I just want to get it to that store, so maybe a store manager will say, let's fix this before it becomes a bigger problem.
Okay.
But yes, I will find in the city's favor, order them to cure the violation by September 1, 2022. If not, did you have a request on fines?
$100 a day, did I not put it on there? $100 a day until
Okay.
compliance is
I'll
met.
enter that. And I will also order that the respondent pay the administrative costs in the amount of $227.28 within 7 days of the date of my order.
Thank you, sir.
Case number 2022-1815, Upward America Southeast Property Owner, LP, owner, repeat violation, location of violation, 4291 Bull Street, St. Cloud, Florida.
Alex Miller, again with the City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement. I'm presenting this case for the property located at 4291 Bull Street. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail, posted at the property and City Hall, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, affidavit of posting, evidence of mailing, copy of the sections in violation, a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate find the respondent in violation in the amount of $295.64. The respondent is not here. On May 17, 2022, Code Enforcement received a complaint from the tenants at this location that insect screens were not being provided for the dwelling. The tenants stated that they tried reaching out to the property manager, but nothing was being done. An inspection was performed and verified the complaint. Upon my return to the office, I made contact with the property management by phone and email explaining the violation can be considered as a repeat violation. They requested additional time to order the screens, and time was provided to correct the violation. On June 30th, 2022, I received an email from the tenants stating that the screens for the windows were provided, but they were told that the screen for the sliding door located in the rear of the dwelling will not be provided. Once again, I reached out to the property management by email and by phone to find the status of the screen. An inspection to the property was performed and verified the window screens were provided, but no the screen for the back sliding door of the dwelling, and one photo was taken. On July 1st, I received an email from the property management stating that the violation was corrected along with a picture. And this is the picture they sent, but it was verified that this picture was from the other property that was presented in front of the magistrate previously in May. I reached to the property management and explained the situation, and they told me they were gonna get back with me, but I didn't hear back from them. On April 8, after several attempts to have the violation corrected, I was advised that the screen for the sliding door will not be provided, and a statement of violation and notice of hearing was sent to the owner and agent, posted the property in City Hall, an affidavit of posting was created, and 3 photos were taken. On August 12, and again on August 17, I verified that the violation was not corrected. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in a repeat violation of not providing or installing insect screens for the dwelling home at this location. Pay a fine in the amount of $500 a day commencing from May 17, 2022, the day the violation was found. And the city will also request that the cost incurred in bringing the case in front of the magistrate in the amount of $295.64 to be paid within 7 days of the written order by the special magistrate.
Okay, so first question, help me understand this being a repeat violation.
So I had presented a case to you back in May for a different property they own along the same street, and that violation was corrected, and all the screens for the windows and the sliding door was provided. So this violation came from a different tenant owned by the same owners, but they only provided with the insect screens for the windows, but they're not going to provide the screen for the sliding door.
So I have same respondent, different property.
Yes, sir.
I have the order for, I had the order in, I thought I had the order in front of me. I guess it's a statement of violation, but, yeah, do we have that order? Because I think I usually state same property in my orders, but just legally, I have some reluctance too, is can I enter repeat on when it's a different property? I know same property, same respondent, easy. Same respondent, different property, I haven't asked myself that question
I
before.
believe 162, I didn't bring 162 with me, but I
can look it
believe
up.
it states that the repeat would apply to any properties within the jurisdiction.
While, I'll look that up.
Sure.
While I'm doing that, I have another question. Are they required to have a screen on a sliding glass door? And I'm looking at the
Yes.
IPMC section.
It is, if you read the section, it says every door.
Required for ventilation, is this a door
Correct.
required, is this a
Yes.
door required for
Yes.
ventilation? Help
Yes,
me
sir.
understand why.
Because there's only 3 windows on the dwelling. There's one on the side, and there's 2 on the back, but the sliding door goes through the kitchen.
So
And that's the
this
only
is
one.
providing ventilation to the cooking area?
Yes, sir.
Ah, that's what I needed to hear.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring my. Okay, come on now. Where's my? It's on 9. 62. Got it right here.
Yep, you're good. Repeat violation means a violation of a provision of a code or ordinance by a person who has been previously found through a code enforcement board or any other quasi-judicial or judicial process to have violated or who has admitted violating the same provision within 5 years prior to the violation, notwithstanding the violations occurring at different locations. So
That's right. Thank you, sir.
then, based on the evidence testimony provided, I will find in city's favor. Find the respondent was in violation, was in repeat violation for not allowing screens, and they have still not provided the screen.
No,
So
sir.
continuing repeat violation. Order the respondent to pay a fine in the amount of $500 a day dating back to May 17th, 2022. And the reason why I'm entering the maximum fine here is because of the respondent's just stubborn refusal
Yes, sir.
to
Thank you.
provide it.
Thank you.
And also order the respondent to pay the administrative costs incurred by the city in the amount of $295.64, which amount shall be paid within 7 days of the date of my written order.
Thank you, sir.
Case number 2022-1187, Shannon Halas, owner, location of violation, 705 Grape Avenue, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement Officer. I am presenting this case for the property located at 705 Grape Avenue. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: copy of the notice violation sent to the owner, copy of the notice violation sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall, copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall, a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, copy of the affidavits of postings, the certified card signed for, the certified mail receipt, a copy of the deed to the property, a copy of the code sections in violation, a copy of the cost incurred if the special magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $255.14. On May 18th, I received a call from the police department requesting assistance from code enforcement to perform a housing inspection due to police activity. I completed an inspection of the entire property and found several violations. On June 15th, the reinspection was performed and all violations were corrected, but a permit was not obtained for the electrical work that was completed. And I took 3 photos.
What am I seeing in those photos?
They, from the box there, they run like the wire down on the bottom of the house over, and that's how they put the wires together. Yeah. Yeah, it was like an extension cord, and then they put them on the, in
Okay.
there. On July 18th, I checked, a permit had not been applied for. On July 18th, the notice violation was sent to the owner. On July 28th, I checked, and a permit had not been obtained. On July 29th, the notice violation was sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property in City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took 5 photos. And that's where they fixed it.
Was that work permitted?
No, that's what I'm taking them
Okay,
for.
so this is the,
The elected, that's where,
this is the violation. These photos are the actual violation.
yes. On August 2nd, I checked, and the permit was not obtained. On August 3rd, a statement of violation and notice of hearing was sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took 1 photo. On August 15th, I checked, and there was still no permit even applied for. The respondent is not here. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing electrical work to be completed prior to obtaining a permit, and to have the permit obtained by August 30th, 2022, or pay a fine of $100 a day until compliance is met. The city would like to also recover the costs incurred in bringing this case before the special magistrate in the amount of $255.14 to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that concludes my presentation.
So I just want to make sure I understand the timing of everything. So you were there on the first inspection, you saw the jury-rigged
Yes,
wiring. That prompted the notice of violation.
yes,
They actually, it looks like at least, they made that situation safer, but they still did that without permits. So they
Exactly.
still have the okay.
yes, sir.
I understand. Then based on, I'm sorry, what was your recommendation for compliance date? I think it's-
August 30th. Or $100 a day until compliance is met.
It wasn't in my cheat sheet, so I just wanted to make sure I copied it over. Okay, based on the evidence testimony received, I'll find in favor of the city, find that the respondent is in violation for allowing electrical work to be conducted on the property without proper permits. Order the respondent to cure the violation by August 30th, 2022. If not cured by that date, a fine in the amount of $100 per day will accrue until compliance is met. Also order the respondent to pay the city's administrative costs in the amount of $255.14, which amount will be due within 7 days of the date of my written order.
Thank you.
New business, none. Next scheduled meeting, September 21st, 2022.
Anything else from the city?
Nothing from us.
And we're adjourned.
Sorry, I didn't have